All set?
Corliss उसका boom है. So he will be taking the.
Welcome or something? मैं सारे मीडिया से आए हुए साथियों का स्वागत करता हूं और जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि हमारा थर्ड वर्किंग ग्रुप मीटिंग कल शुरू हो रहा है और उसके लिए एक प्री इवेंट मीडिया ब्रीफिंग ऑर्गेनाइज की गई है. मैं सेक्रेटरी सर से निवेदन करता हूं कि वो आपको प्री मीडिया ब्रीफिंग के बारे में G20 इवेंट के बारे में और बताएं.
Good afternoon, friends. Thank you for joining us at a short notice. We'll be holding the third Digital Economy Working Group meeting of G20 in Pune, starting tomorrow. I have two of my colleagues on both sides. You must be knowing the person on my left. Mr. Vikram Kumar is Pune Municipal Commissioner, and on my right is our Joint Secretary and co-chair of this working group, Mr. Sushil Pal. And then, of course, we have colleagues from PIB and our officials. So thank you for this. Before I take you through what we'll be doing in next 3 days, I would also like to just give you a brief of what this G20 is all about. I am sure you would have, there have been a few meetings held, so maybe some, but maybe just for the sake of repetition, I would still like to tell maybe some of the media friends who were not present in those will get to know about it. The G20 summit, you know, it is held annually. हर साल होती है. हर साल इसकी प्रेसिडेंटशिप चेंज होती है. Should I speak in Hindi, English? मराठी तो आती नहीं है. Okay. So the whole idea of G20 has been that we should discuss broad economic issues. As you know, G20 consists of 19 countries and the European Union. Almost 75% of the world's GDP is controlled by these 19 plus EU countries. Almost 2/3 of world's population is controlled. So it's a huge group. It's a very powerful group. And the whole idea when they started was to include, talk about macroeconomic issues, and then also talk about, as they kept on, you know, moving on to the next years of G20, they started adding new agenda items. They started with trade, climate change came later, sustainable development became emerging issues, health, agriculture, energy, environment. Is it okay? Am I audible now? Okay. So all that has become important issues as we moved further up. G20 consists of 19 countries and the European Union. I will give you the press brief which will give you the details of 19 countries, starting from Argentina and Australia, ending with UK and United States. Now the agenda of the G20 presidency is basically decided by the president, where the meeting would be held, who hosts the summit. Now there are two parallel tracks in G20. The major track is called Sherpa track, where all issues of general importance, whether it is agriculture, health, climate change, digital economy, anti-corruption kind of issues, energy issues, all those will be discussed. Second one is the finance track, which talks about the financial issues, the issues of financials, of fiscal policies, of bilateral fiscal relations. All those will be discussed into the finance working group. There are also new engagement groups. So as the G20 presidency takes shape, they keep on adding one new engagement group. Now in India, now we have 9 engagement groups. So we have added startups. You know, startup was not there before, because the startup is now, India is one of the fastest growing startup ecosystem in the world. So we have started a new engagement group called startups. Similarly, on youth, there is another engagement group. So these are engagement groups which also talks about different policies, and those are also discussed. Now, DEWG, the Digital Economy Working Group, it started as a Digital Economy Task Force in 2016. That is when China was the president. And the mandate was that we should also discuss implementation of an interconnected, protected, and safe digital technology to develop an inclusive, resilient, and sustainable digital economy. Now, because by that time, by 2016, internet has widespread in most of the geographies. The digital had become a buzzword all over the world. So they started talking about its inclusiveness, its resilience, its sustainable development. In Italian presidency, then they said, why do you call it a task force? Why should it not become a digital economy working group itself? So in 2021, under the Italian presidency, they started calling it Digital Economy Working Group. Last year, Indonesia had hosted this, and this year, India is the president. Now, if we look at the size of digital economy, it's almost 11 trillion US dollars. And it will become 23 trillion. It will be doubled by 2025. In India also, we have a plan that by 25, we'll also have a 1 trillion digital economy. So, in order to address these kinds of issues, there have been multiple kinds of issues which have been discussed in the past presidencies. Some people talked about how we can make use of digital technology for inclusive growth and employment. In Argentinian presidency, they started talking about the digital economy while it is growing, but there is a digital divide. Some countries don't have any access to digital because of their poverty, low economy, low income. So why don't we do something to bridge the digital divide? In Japanese presidency, they started talking about why don't we look at free flow of data with trust. So that data is a big important resource. So how can we come out with some kind of a data free flow with trust? And then in Saudi Arabia in 2020, they talked about artificial intelligence and innovation. So they said artificial intelligence had just started. People started talking about AI. So they said, why don't we also look at this? What are the good things of AI and what are the important responsible AI? How do we develop that? And then Indonesia last year has also talked about why don't we also look at digital skilling? That's very important, connectivity and digital skilling, so that everybody is connected. Everybody has access to this. So this is how this has been done in the past presidencies. Now, India's presidency, when we have taken over this year, we have also set our own priorities. Now, India's priorities have been 3 major areas in which we'll be talking about. We have already discussed it in the past 2 Digital Economy Working Group meetings. First one was held in Lucknow, second one was held in Hyderabad, and this is the third, and I would say the most important working group. Why I am calling it most important? Because from here we start actually talking about and drafting the ministerial declaration. So this is important. So that now it will be the drafting of the whole declaration. Until now we were just negotiating on subjects, on topics, on definitions and all that. But now we have come to a specific that now we have to go sentence by sentence, word by word, what should come into the declaration. Now 3 important priorities which India has taken upon itself. First one is digital public infrastructure. Now that is our most important priority in the sense that India has showcased to the world that how a developing country like India can develop digital public platforms which are open source, open architecture, interoperable, and which can be shared, with other economies at population scale for millions of people. We have developed and we have showcased it to the world. So world is keenly looking at India, how we have developed in, and many of them are also willing to adopt our digital economy, which I'll talk about a little later. So this is one thing where we are saying that the whole world should now look at the concept of digital public infrastructure. We are also suggesting that there should be a framework for ministerial declaration on DPI, and we should also look at creating a repository of digital public platform. Whichever country has developed it, let there be a platform, let there be a repository, let there be a library, so that anybody who wants to see something, they can always look at, oh, this suits me, this DPI is good for me. So they start looking at it and then adapt it, customize it to adopt to themselves. Second one is about the security in the digital economy. Now, in India also, we know that as digital economy is growing, digital public platforms are growing, our health sector, our education sector, our agriculture, our financial sector, banks, utilities, everywhere we have digital. Now, so when digital is growing, along with that, we are also concerned about cyber security. Most important, because our youth, our elderly people, sometimes you say that people may come with all kinds of links and they give you all kinds of enticement. If you click on this link, you will get so much money. So we have to also create a system whereby we should be able to exchange information on that and come out with some kind of a toolkit and an awareness module which can be used by different countries to create awareness among the citizens about the digital economy and how they can protect themselves from the fraudulent kind of systems. And the third one is about digital skilling. Now, this is again one of the most important subjects. It was discussed in Indonesian presidency also. Now, here we are coming out with a specific digital skilling toolkit again, whereby we should be able to create digital skills, tools, curriculum, which can be used by different digital economies, different countries. And also we are looking at if we can develop some kind of a common recognition framework, whereby our skill can be recognized by another G20 country. So that, if there is a need of resource, in India we may have a skilled manpower. In other countries they need a skilled manpower. But because they don't recognize each other's certificates, the mutual recognition is not there, so there is always a gap. So if we can have some kind of a common framework, then it will help us in seamlessly moving, people from demand to supply without any disturbance. So these are the three major priority on which we will be negotiating. Along with that, we are also, and this is the most important event, we are holding Global Digital Public Infrastructure Summit. That is also being held simultaneously on 12th and 13th of June. Now, this is one of the largest digital public infrastructure summit in the world, where we are getting about 120 to 130 foreign delegates. There is participation of almost 50 countries. They will be participating in this. Our objective is that let government, industry, academia, whosoever is involved in this, they should showcase their digital public infrastructure. We should also showcase how digital public platforms have helped in ease of doing business, ease of living, ease of governance. So these things will also be discussed, and there is an exhibition which is being held on the sidelines, where we are also showcasing what India has done, as we call it, indiastack.global. We will be showcasing our 14 digital public goods or digital public platforms which we have developed, whether it is Aadhaar, UPI, CoWIN, Diksha, DigiLocker, Umang. So whatever we have developed, we are also showcasing. So the other countries can also see. Now, besides these delegates and the countries which are participating, we are also have a big participation from international organizations. That is United Nations Capital Development Fund, UNCDF, World Bank, Asian Development Bank, UNDP, UNESCO, ITU, which is International Telecommunication Union, OECD, which is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and then Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and other philanthropic institutions and organizations are also participating. There are also ministers and senior officials who are participating from Armenia, Mozambique, Tanzania, Zanzibar, Suriname, Malaysia. I will give you the list. We have it in the press release. So Malawi, Sri Lanka, Kenya, Bhutan, so multiple countries have participating. So this will be one of its kind. There will be some MOUs which will be signed where they are looking at cooperation with India for sharing these our digital solutions which can be implemented in those countries. So that is also being done tomorrow. Digital Economy Working Group, obviously I have given a basic detail, and Along with this, there have been two campaigns, which again India, for the first time as G20 president, has initiated two major campaigns. One is Stay Safe Online. Now, Stay Safe Online is again, it is a campaign for everybody, whether it is student, young youth, elderly people, all of us, to create cyber awareness, basically cyber security awareness. Now, if I tell you that when we started this, and this is not only happening in India, this campaign is happening in all 20 G20 countries, invited nations, and we have also told these organizations, UNDP, and they are also creating awareness. So far, 17.43 crore people have visited different modes. Somebody is on website, the Facebook, the Meta has also created a social awareness campaign. Then we have website, then there have been mails which have been sent to nearly 7 to 8 crore people. There was a national level cyber quiz which was attempted by 2.2 lakh people. And 1.47 of them actually gave clear answer, So that quizzes happen after we come out with some kind of on mygov.in and all. We come with a small quiz and somebody will answer it. When they successfully answer a couple of questions, then they get a certificate that cyber security. So it has been a huge success. We have also converted that in 4 international languages. So that's one big campaign. We have a small video on that. Maybe if it is visible to them, maybe we can show it to them. Yeah. So it will be there in the backdrop. You may like to see that video.
A fast-paced world, constantly adapting to new technologies. A world that has become a hyper-connected global village, where technology has connected every part of our lives to the internet. Technology that has brought our world together in a click has also unleashed the global menace of cybercrime. Today, with nearly the entire human race getting online, no one is entirely safe with insufficient awareness about cybersecurity. In the year of India's G20 presidency, India joins the world in the global effort to address the global need for cybersecurity awareness with the launch of the Stay Safe Online campaign. Stay Safe Online is a global campaign aimed at making netizens across the world more aware and vigilant when it comes to online safety. Whether using strong passwords, using OTP while accessing e-commerce sites, or not keeping sensitive data on portable devices, the Stay Safe Online campaign will empower netizens to stay secure against untoward incidents. Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visionary leadership, India joined the global technology revolution's mainstream. Today, with India accounting for 40% of all real-time global online transactions, it is fast embracing technology as a way of life. Stay Safe Online campaign will enable and inform netizens to make the digital world cyber safe and cyber secure for all. Share your videos of safe online experiences with hashtag StaySafeOnline. Log on to www.mygov.in/StaySafeOnline to join the Stay Safe Online campaign.
So this campaign we launched on 28th of December. So since then, in last 6 months, there have been massive response. The second important initiative which we have taken is G20 Digital Innovation Alliance. Now, this was also launched on 28th of December. The whole idea was that we should be able to mobilize and assemble a startup community from all these G20 countries and other nations, and their best startup, they will be shortlisted by those countries, and they will participate in the Global Digital Innovation Alliance, conference which will be held in Bangalore in August. Now we have already got 2,468 applications. And it includes not only, 1,438 venture capital funds. There are 1,008 new startups. There are 18 unicorns, they will be participating. Now, out of those, we'll be selecting from each country, there will be 6. And then they will all assemble here, and there is an international jury which will identify 18 top class startups. 3 in each category, which is in health, agriculture, education, finance, 2 more. So 6, that's there in the video. Climate and so all circular economy. So this is all about what are the burning topics and how startup community, the young, the youth, how they are creating and coming out with new innovative solutions to address these issues. So that is also there. We have a small video on that as well. So we would like to show you that. Yeah.
The group of 20 represents around 85% of the global GDP, over 75% of the global trade, and about 2/3 of the world population. Led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India, in its year of G20 presidency, aspires to bring humanity together to help shape a new paradigm of sustainable globalization inspired by the traditional philosophy of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, or one earth, one family, one future.
भारत की G20 अध्यक्षता इंक्लूसिव, एम्बिशियस, डिसिसिव और एक्शन ओरिएंटेड होगी.
With the world fast adapting to digital innovations, India is inviting global startups and innovation from all G20 member initiatives in 6 sectors under Digital Innovation Alliance. The G20 Digital Innovation Alliance Summit will be held in the city of Bengaluru and will see global speakers, startups, unicorns, industries, corporate and the government aiming to showcase digital solutions for various world economies. The summit will not only celebrate the startups but find transformative digital solutions that are needed for the betterment of economies and the upliftment of humanity. Transforming billions of lives across the globe, the Digital Innovation Alliance is a decisive step towards equitable growth for one and all, with the vision to create a futuristic, prosperous, inclusive and developed society at its core.
Thank you. Yeah, and there cannot be a better time than 12th of June to hold this digital economy working group when we find that the palki of Lord Vittal is passing through Pune. It will have its own excitement, so delegates may also like to be part of that great faith which will be moving through the city in next 2 days. So that's great, and I would like to thank especially the government of Maharashtra and all the officers of Pune division as well as Pune Municipal Commissioner Vikram for creating, you can look at the city, it has been completely spruced up, so clean, the whole place has been completely transformed. So I think I must thank each one of you for all your efforts, and I am sure delegates will go with a good, pleasant experience from Pune. Thank you.
We can leave the floor open to our media friends, who can
Or maybe Vikram,
ask
would
any
you like
question.
to address something about the...
No, sir, it's a feeling of proud and privilege that you have chosen Pune for this working group meeting. And Pune as such is also the hub of innovation. We have so many IT companies, startups which are there in Pune. And Pune, I think, is the right place which you have chosen for this event. And coincidentally, this event, or by design, this event is happening when there is Lord Vittal's palki passing through Pune. And such a full of religious sentiments this atmosphere will be. And I am pretty sure that Lord will shower blessings on all of us. And this event will be a huge success. For the event, sir, Pune Municipal Corporation along with the city of Pune are fully prepared, and we want to welcome all the delegates open-hearted, and for that we have taken a lot of efforts. We want to showcase the best of Pune city. We want to showcase them the tradition, culture of Maharashtra. And if possible, we will like the delegates to be part of this Palki movement, Palki Samaro, and we will, with your permission, we'd like to take them and make them see how the people from all parts of Maharashtra come and converge here and move towards Pandharpur. That will be a once in a lifetime experience for all these delegates who have come from different countries. We are very happy once again, sir, to have this event happening in Pune. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Over to our media friends. I mean, they can ask any questions in case they have any.
Hello, good evening.
They can now request you also to identify yourself.
I'm Pratibha Chandran from Sahara Samay. My question to you is, because the draft is going to be here in the 2 days meeting to be happening. So when it comes to any digital fraud in particular, there is a lot of constraint, even if you zero down a person performing that, if it is in another country. So is this aspect also going to be addressed, or are there going to be some significant MOUs? Because, you know, finding out a patient zero is one thing, but then punishing him is another thing, because there are too many boundary constraints.
Yeah. So, you know,
One question just related to this. Are we going to rope in the enforcement agencies, okay, who are like key players when it comes to the fraud and fraudulent activities happening?
yeah, so there are two different aspects to this. When we talk about digital, there are two aspects to this. One is the normal, when we do digital business, and then there is a one level of fraud, you know, which takes place. Second one is the cyber security at large, you know, where nations are at stake. The state actors are, you know, throwing their malwares, putting attacks on Indian systems. Cyber crime, these are two different aspects. So while we are looking at the digital economy part of it, where we will be creating a set of, you know, guidelines, a set of tools, a set of information which we can exchange to ensure that citizen or the individual or the MSME or the business, what are the precautions they should take while they are dealing with digital transactions. The second part is being dealt in another group where they will be talking about cyber crime and the cyber security. That's a separate group which will be, you know, they are separately dealing, and they are also meeting in different places, which is not part of a working group, but then that's a separate initiative which is also being discussed with these countries. So these are two different aspects.
So,
One at a time, yeah. Yeah, you can, and then after that, madam.
The second point that you raised, the Honorable Minister had written to the WhatsApp company. Can you hear me, sir? So regarding the frauds that were happening, and it was happening at a very big level. I think it's happening globally. There are complaints from across the globe about the WhatsApp frauds and other things. What kind of brainstorming can we expect from the working group to address this, and to maybe come up with some kind of a solution or SOP for the users and the government to respond to this? Because this is a very new thing, right?
Yeah, so when we are talking about security, digital security, this is, we have incorporated it in our priorities. The whole idea of this incorporation was that at least we should come out with a set of guidelines, as you rightly said, SOPs. We are calling it a set of toolkits. You know, because G20 is, as you know, any outcome of G20 will be consensus based. So we all have to have consensus on that. So we need to, you know, work out on common framework, common tools, common toolkits, common, you know, kind of guidelines. That is what will be our endeavor, to have that. And bilaterally we have been signing, somebody was talking about, do we have signing, those are bilateral, you know, our investigating agency, our certain, we sign bilateral MOUs and MOCs with countries where we exchange the kind of information you are talking about. But here it has to be a larger, you know, higher principles as we call it. So here our objective will be on higher principles of this thing.
so Shama from Doordarshan
Yeah.
News. You mentioned about the MOUs. Which are the MOUs and which countries are we signing it with? And you've also mentioned about how strong is India in terms of DPI. So how would you describe India's position?
See, I would only tell you that there are 9 countries which are participating at ministerial level. Now, they have keen interest in looking at India's DP, digital public infrastructure. You will be there tomorrow, so we would like you to have a look at that in the morning. And there is a briefing after that also, but I am sure in the function also you could see who all are signing. Thank you. Yeah.
Geeta Nayare, I'm from Financial Express. Between the first 2 working group meeting and the third one, AI has emerged as a very big talking point, concern point. Will that be part of your platform? Though it has come, it has just come up in terms of concern and worries around AI. So would you be, considering that?
No, because the agenda for G20 is set well in advance. So while it cannot be a part of agenda, but then we are bilaterally we are discussing with countries, the common, like with EU, if they, what are their, view on this, what is US looking at, what UK is doing. So we do it on the sideline, but it's not part of this. So this will be probably in the GPFI, that is the Financial Working Group. Some component of that may be discussed. But we are having another major event which is not part of G20. I thought it should not. We'll come back to you again. India has become the chairperson of Global Partnership on AI, which is artificial intelligence largest body in the world. And India has won this seat with 2/3 majority, defeating some of the major economies. So, and that is not because India's mind, the young minds which we have, our youth, it is the fastest growing ecosystem in the world. Our artificial intelligence ecosystem is fastest growing in the world. We are the 3rd largest AI ecosystem in the world today. So there will be the apex, because India has taken the chairpersonship. So in December, there will be the apex bodies meeting that will be held, summit. Just like G20's state head of state summit. Similarly, in December, we'll have a apex level summit, and that is where most of these issues will also be discussed. Thank you. Yeah, Doordarshan, sorry. Shama, you have spoken, na? Or you want to speak? Yeah. You have spoken, yeah. Yes, anyone else?
Just to add, what will be the theme that we will be adding to the whole discussion at G20? Like last time it was AI. So this time, what would be the one key contribution that India presidency would be making?
DPI, the most important. DPI is most important. In skill, we are moving on to the next level, and the digital security. So all 3 actually we discuss, and then we thought something we have to, there is always a thread. So something moves from there, but then some new things we can take up. So our digital public infrastructure is one of the new themes. And there is a lot of, you have also heard about it. People are accepting, our UPI has been accepted by Singapore, UAE, now you can use your, UPI code, QR code, and make payment in Dubai or Singapore, or wherever you want to do that. So there's a lot of positive things happening. 76% of our transaction today in India is happening on digital. There's the highest in the world. Somebody was telling me, the other day only, I was traveling from, coming back from one of the international countries, and they said that, one fellow sitting next to me, he said, when in my own country, when I want to give a credit card for any small transaction, they say, do you have cash? And India, he said, I went to one of those small street vendors, on my morning walk. And then when I wanted to pay her cash, she said, no, look at this, do QR code. Why don't you pay QR, So that is the strength of India's digital public transformation. So thank you, friends. See you tomorrow. We have a media conference tomorrow also.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Thank you. That will be addressed by Honorable Minister. He'll be here. He'll
request all the media friends to have a tea and refreshment before they leave. It's all there outside. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think administration will take care of it.